Today, the City of Lancaster launched its Emergency Operations Center, or the EOC. The mayor asked me to give a brief presentation of what the EOC is, what it does, and how it operates. So we'll walk into the Emergency Operations Center now. The Emergency Operations Center is a national standard at which we operate under emergencies. When we operate in an emergency, the communication level goes from us to the county, to the state, to the federal government. This is a standardized process, a standardized emergency response system. So any Emergency Operations Center should be operating exactly like this. It's broken into 5 parts: operations, planning and intelligence, finance, administration, and logistics section, as well as the leadership component of that. That's the 5 sections. Logistics section is specifically in charge of and operates the logistics of the event. So the facilities that are necessary, the tools that are necessary, as well as personnel. So a lot of that comes out of the logistics section of understanding how we respond, with what resources, and where do we acquire those resources. In addition, finance is going to serve a very important role in this emergency, in that there's a number of different federal agencies as well as state funding sources that are available to not only the city itself, but also to our local businesses impacted by this. So they're working diligently right now to identify what those funding sources are, what we need to do to apply for them to make sure that our community is made whole, but more importantly, that our small businesses are taken care of. They also account for any expenditures we have in the EOC. Planning and intelligence is really our forward-thinking end of our operation. Their function is saying, okay, we know we got what we're doing today, and we have a specific goals and objectives we got to do today. They're looking at what happens next week, what happens in the 3rd week, what happens in the 4th week of this event, what are the kind of facilities and tools that we're going to need for the future. They're going to do that in a number of different ways. We have a lot of history from China, from Europe, also in other cities as well, is trying to understand the spread of this virus and what happens when it spreads and what are the obligations going to be for the city. The operations section is just that. It handles our boots on the ground. Communication with the Sheriff's Department, communication with the Fire Department, communication with the hospital, communication with our staff, our boots on the ground, of identifying what it is they need to get done in this operation, how to do that, communicating that effect, and making that happen. The administration side, first and foremost, is the leader of the EOC. The city manager is the EOC director. We have an EOC manager who's in charge of the operation, but most importantly in this section is communications. And communications is going to be key in this emergency, in that we have to communicate correctly, effectively, and efficiently so that people know what they should be doing, what they can be doing, and for their own protection and protection of their family members. Communications will start sending out daily updates from a local perspective, also including some of those national and regional perspective as well. But it really is going to be your local access to what I should do, what's happening locally, and what the impacts are locally. That'll be coming out on a daily basis to identify what's changed, what you should be doing as a community, and how we operate. With that, it is key from the City of Lancaster's perspective to make sure that we keep our citizens safe, informed, and healthy through this incident. This is an incident that we're not familiar with. We've dealt with floods and earthquakes and things of this nature. This is new for us, but at the same token, the tools that are at our disposal are the same. How do we respond to problems? How do we communicate to the public actions? And that is standard in what we do from an emergency operations perspective. Thank you for your time.